Hello, welcome to Georgia's ice storm of the year. I am currently packing a bag to go stay the night at the hospital tonight because I am on the emergency weather team and will be required to work tomorrow. And right now things are wet and it is raining. It was icy this morning. Now they're wet and raining, which means if I wait till tomorrow, everything's gonna refreeze. And so in order to make my shift, I'm packing. So what I'm planning on, this is gonna be my outfit that I'm gonna change into right before I go. I'm gonna shower before I go just so I feel like good. And then this is gonna be my sleeping outfit that I'm planning. And then this is gonna be my work outfit for tomorrow. Theoretically, we do get air mattresses. I just have to bring linens for them. And then I need to pack my toiletries, food, chargers, I'm hoping to find a good piece of time where it is not precipitating from the sky, but it's not quite pitch black yet. And once that time occurs, I will be on my way. Something I thought through too, since my shift isn't till 11:30 tomorrow, is I could just put these clothes back on and go walk or do a workout or something. What? Let's do our apartment one. Or go in the afternoon or something. I'm far too comfortable. I set up my little air mattress in a social work office that none of the social workers will be here. And so it's gonna be dark and private, and maybe there'll be some noise because I really am on the hospital floor, just in an office off the floor. But I'm cozy. I got my book. I'm kind of just gonna hang here. I hung out with the other social workers who are here for probably an hour and a half. Time doesn't quite feel real. As soon as I arrived at 6:30 p.m., it was dark out and it just felt late at night. And right now it's about 8:45 and I'm fighting off going to sleep. I'm gonna sit here and read. But part of me was what if I just get ready for bed? So far, we're doing good. I slept surprisingly well. I thrived on that little air mattress. I've obviously gotten a little bit ready for the day. I personally have about 4.5 hours before my shift starts, so I have time to kill. So I'm grabbing my little meal voucher that we get. We get 2 of them, so I think my priorities are gonna be breakfast and dinner, and then I'll try to just kind of snack around lunch. But I have my meal voucher, I have my book, and then I'm bringing a mug. So I'm gonna go see what they have for breakfast and maybe find a good spot to just sit and read. While I'm out and about, I also want to check if the fitness center is open, because if it's open, that would be I could come back, get dressed. I'm just wearing PJs right now. Come back, get dressed, go like walk on a treadmill or something like that. But I could also see where they have it closed since it's like emergency weather, all of that. But I'm feeling great. I'm feeling well rested. I am looking forward to breakfast. I'm trying not to get my hopes too high because I've heard some things about how it tastes because they're operating minimal functioning too. But I'm gonna try to have a really good 4.5 hours before actually like clocking in. I am wrapping things up right now. It has been a busy 8 hours. And so it's 7:36 right now. I still have 24 minutes left of my shift. I have officially been here for over 24 hours, 25 hours probably. And I'll be back in at 8 a.m. tomorrow for the regular work days. I'm not gonna lie, I ended up not using my other 2 meal vouchers. One, I went down during lunch because I was like, well, let me at least see what they have. I went down with 10 minutes left of lunch, and turns out they weren't letting people use meal vouchers then. The like free staff meal was gonna be dinner. And then by the time dinner came around, I just really remembered the sausage patty this morning, and I just ended up having a bar that I had brought instead. I don't feel tired physically because truly I slept so well last night, but I can tell that my stamina is going down as far as just like mental energy being on and like being here and like emotional reserves. I'm not built to be in the hospital for, it wasn't a 24-hour shift, but I keep calling it a 24-hour shift because like I was here. I think it'll feel absolutely insane being back 12 hours after I leave, which I know is what nurses do. They do 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.s or 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.s, but then they work 3 days a week. I'm doing this little 12-hour break at the beginning of my 5-day work week. If you're curious, I got 12 hours of like ready to work hours that we get paid. That's $15 an hour. So that is a good thing, but that also means that like for being here 24 hours, for doing all this, covering the whole house today, everything on my paycheck, that's the only thing that's different, which will be about $180 and then take tax away. So maybe like $160, $150, which is not nothing. I also miss my home. Back from day 2 of the week. Lots of child protection stuff keeping me busy today, but it wasn't like a burnout busy. That burnout video just posted this most recent Sunday. As of the time I'm filming this, like the day that I was going to spend the night at the hospital, that's when that burnout video posted. I'm doing better than I was in that video. This also was my 7th in a row. I was about to throw my coat down on the ground. I'm trying to get better about that. Let me go hang it up in the coat closet. This was my 7th in a row super busy work day where I didn't have any downtime. Not that I'm counting. Honestly, it might be longer than that, and that's just what I've like been paying attention to. But I got a concierge order today. So I got these chicken sausages. This is now my 2nd time getting them. My concierge goes and picks things up from Costco. They do a lot of things. One of the things that they do is goes and picks things up from Costco, and that's how I get 3 pounds of chicken sausage, 54 links, I believe it is. Ooh, 3.5 pounds of chicken sausage. I got a Quest Bar variety pack, which honestly, their variety pack, I don't know, I guess this must be just like everybody's favorite flavors, but the cookies and cream and the cookie dough are my favorite flavors, so lovely that they're the ones in the variety pack. And then there's 6 of each of those, and then 2 chocolate brownie ones that I honestly might have, because I want to go walk, because I really want to finish my book. Let me show you that too. This is the book I'm reading. It's an arc, and I was going to do like a reading video of all the arcs I have, and then I had my little burnout week, so I've just been reading this on my own, but I'm getting close to being done with it, and it's really good. Like, I'm really enjoying it. It's a great fantasy. I feel like if I don't finish it all in one sitting, it will suffer a little bit. Like, my enjoyment will suffer a little bit if I keep like diving in just briefly and then leaving and then diving in and briefly. So I want to just like walk and read it and hopefully finish it or get like a good chunk through, because I have 90 more pages about an hour and a half of reading. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna go to the gym and walk. So I think I'm gonna do a Quest bar. That's how we got here. I think I'm gonna have a little Quest bar as a snack before I go. And then I got big chunker of Oikos 000 blended Greek yogurts. 18 of them in here, which lasts a long time. But they're really good too. We are at the point in winter where I start doing some calculations to figure out how much longer it's going to be cold for, and then I learned that I should not be doing those calculations. I should mind my own business because it's not yet close enough to being warm that it feels heartening to count the days. And I know I can't complain because I know places are so much colder. But also I just feel like you reach a temperature where like freezing is just freezing. It's like so cold it's making my wedding rings too big, or making my fingers so skinny because it's so cold. Going into today, I know I have a set of rounds. I know I have a continuing education unit. I know I have a scheduled family meeting with the doctor, and I know I have staff meeting. Hopefully work can other work can filter in between all of those scheduled times. But my hopes are not high that today will be my first day that feels like, okay, phew, I've gotten things done. Like I can take a deep breath. I don't think that'll be today because of all of those scheduled things, but we'll be fine. Probably. I'm bringing 2 books with me. Well, do you want to hear about the one I finished last night? Because I did finish it. Queen of Faces, I finished. It's publishing February 3rd, so it should be out by the time you see this video. It's a fantasy world that has a lot of elements that you would expect in fantasy. Like it has a magical academy. It has people having like unique spells that are individual to them while also having a greater magic system. It has a little band of mercenaries. But something that's really interesting in this one is that part of the magic system is that bodies are swapped, just like kind of outfits of clothes. And the body swap part of it was so interesting to read because I was really uncertain in the beginning. In the beginning, I felt like I wasn't gonna like get a grasp on it. But because of that element in this magical world, it like challenged me to identify characters beyond just like their names and bodies and physical characteristics. And there are times where you have to remember like which self is in a certain body because they do switch, and like not so much where it's confusing, but I haven't read a book with like that element before. The author is a trans woman, and there are themes too of people like swapping out different bodies and different genders feeling more stifling to them or more comfortable for them or more aligned with their self-expression. And I just thought that was a really interesting theme to have through it too, because then even with the bodies, there are people who have like 10 bodies that they truly just like wake up and decide which body they're going to use. But then our main character, her body is terminally ill, and she has like a ticking time bomb essentially of she needs to make all of this money in order to get a new body for herself, or her soul will die with the body that she's in. And so there's those like class divisions in here too, and then also that adds like the pressure of all the little quests they're going on. It's not quests, it's like fighting political power. I feel like calling it a quest kind of watered it down some. But it adds the pressure to that because for her, she's needing money to get a body in order to live. But then there's people with designer bodies who will inhabit a body just to have like a crazy night out where consequences don't matter for that body because they can just like switch back into a different one the next day. So all of that was just super interesting. The writing was really beautiful. The author is a debut author too. And she said that I think it took her like 5-6 years to write this book, but she said like the story was just like burning a hole in her skull. And I feel like you can tell like this is a story of someone who has the story and just like needs to get it out to the world. A couple pieces of the writing felt written in order to be quotable, which I didn't really love. And then my only other critique that I can kind of think of right now is that it's told from different points of views, that's not the critique. Like I think that part was done well, but sometimes whenever you're in one point of view and you're viewing a character who we also know really well from being in their point of view, it didn't always feel like it would match up. Like sometimes we'd spend so much time in someone's head, but then as soon as we see them from someone else's point of view, they do something and I was like, that doesn't seem like you based on like what we just did all this with. Yeah, you know what, if that makes sense. Like point of views were written well. It just was like seeing other characters sometimes from someone's point of view. It wasn't just like, oh, maybe they view them differently. I was like, I feel like it's convenient that we're not in that character's head right now because their motivations wouldn't have made sense from like what we know about them from being in their head, if that makes sense. But I do recommend it. It was very good. I think I ended up giving it a 4.5 because at the end of it, I was just sitting there and I was like, wow, I enjoyed that. That being said, I'm also in the middle of The Cost of Quiet right now, how to have hard conversations that create secure, lasting love. And I'm trying to power through this just because it's nonfiction, which is not the same type of reading for me. Usually I listen to nonfiction, but it's interesting and like I want to finish it. It just is different than reading a fiction book. And so I haven't started this one yet. What I plan to pick up whenever I need a break from nonfiction is So Old, So Young by Grant Ginder, which follows 5 parties over the course of 20 years that bring 6 college friends together, exploring the ways we run from and cling to our friends and love life and death, which I feel like holds a lot of potential as far as me enjoying longitudinal, emotional stories sometimes. With the busy day, no idea if I'll be able to read any of this. Hopefully I can take a lunch break that I can, but we'll see. You'll never guess what. They're doing the code white again for this weekend. It's supposed to snow. Respectfully, none of my business this weekend. I have fulfilled my obligation. I started this week sleeping on an air mattress. Isn't that insane? So I just get to enjoy the weekend, be snowed in if we get snowed in. It'll probably be done like next week, Monday. We'll be back to regular work week. But thank you for joining me for this crazy wild one. Sorry that there's no fun cliffhanger like there was on last vlog. Like, oh, I'm gonna be sleeping in the hospital. The lead into next vlog is crossing my fingers that it's a totally normal work week, that everything's mundane and expected, and I barely have anything to talk about. I appreciate you spending these moments with me, and I'll see you next time.